We just talked about the preterite and imperfect. So remember this, preterite for completed actions that have a clear beginning and ending. Imperfect for actions that don't have a time marker, for actions that are habitual, like are used to be, or to describe things like age, weather. Now, when you combine the preterite and imperfect, in the case that you have an interrupting action, that's going to be in the preterite. Yo leía cuando el teléfono sonó. I was very concentrated in my phone and the phone rang and it bothered me and I lost my concentration, so that interrupted me. El teléfono sonó mientras yo escribía. Now, I want you to pay attention to few verbs, there are not that many, that have a difference when they are in the preterite or imperfect. I'm talking about verbs like conocer, querer, saber, that they change meaning. For example, when I was a kid, yo conocía muy bien a mi familia. But cuando cumplí 7 años, conocí a mi tía Carmela. In the first one, conocí a mi familia, I'm trying to convey that I knew my family very well, I knew all the names. But if I say conocí, yo conocí a mi tía Carmela, in the preterite, I'm trying to convey that it's an action, the action of meeting somebody for the first time. So, I'm going to show you the most important verbs to remember that have a change. Saber, conocer, querer, no querer, y poder. Right? Saber. In the imperfect, sabía, in the preterite, supe. Conocer, conocía, conocí. Querer, quería, quise, no querer, no quería, no quise, poder, podía, no pude. There is many information here. So in order to help you finding out the difference between when to use preterite imperfect, I chose a reading that talks about the astronaut Neil Armstrong. After listening to the story, we are going to do a series of exercises when we have to choose in between conocer in the preterite or imperfect, like conocí, conocía, or saber, sabía, supe, or no querer, no quise, no quería. So let's listen to this story. Neil Armstrong, el primer hombre en la luna. Eran las 3:17 de la tarde del 20 de julio de 1969, en Houston, Texas, cuando por primera vez una nave de origen terrestre se posaba sobre la superficie lunar. El módulo, conocido por el nombre de Eagle y que formaba parte de la misión Apolo 11, llegaba consigo al piloto Buzz Aldrin junto con el comandante de la misión, el ingeniero aeroespacial Neil Armstrong, que se convertiría ese día en el primer hombre en pisar la luna. El hecho revistió gran importancia histórica, no solo por lo que significó este logro, sino por haber sido retransmitido por televisión pública a partir de la señal recibida por la estación de seguimiento Honeysuckle Creek en Canberra, Australia. En esa transmisión y frente a la mirada perpleja de millones de personas que seguían el paseo lunar, Armstrong expresó con emoción la conocida frase: "Es un pequeño paso para un hombre, pero un gran salto para la humanidad". La niñez de Armstrong. Nacido en Wapakoneta, Ohio, en 1930, Neil Armstrong tenía un particular interés por volar desde muy pequeño. Acompañaba a sus padres a las carreras nacionales aéreas de Ohio y este estímulo se vio reforzado cuando a los 6 años voló por primera vez en un Ford Tri-Motor. Ya en su adolescencia recibió clases de vuelo que aprovecharía para estudiar ingeniería aeronáutica. Armstrong sirvió a su país en la Guerra de Corea como aviador de 78 misiones de combate, para luego unirse como ingeniero, piloto de pruebas y astronauta al Comité Consultivo Nacional NACA, por sus siglas en inglés, organismo que luego se transformaría en la Administración Nacional para la Aeronáutica y el Espacio, NASA. Fue allí donde probó más de 200 modelos diferentes de aviones de reacción, cohetes, helicópteros y planeadores, lo que le daría la experticia necesaria para ser el primer hombre en pisar la Luna. 6 horas y media después, el primer hombre en la Luna descendería del módulo, percatándose de la seguridad de la operación. Acompañado por Aldrin, se dedicaría, durante su estancia allí, a instalar aparatos de medición, una cámara de televisión sobre un trípode para documentarlo todo y un detector de partículas nucleares emitidas por el Sol. Después de protagonizar este suceso, Armstrong asumió el cargo de viceadministrador asociado para la División de Aeronáutica. El 7 de agosto del 2012, en una cirugía de corazón, falleció a la edad de 82 años. Su familia dijo que para honrar al primer hombre en la Luna, tenía una simple petición: honrar su ejemplo de servicio, cumplimiento, modestia, y la próxima vez que camine afuera, en una noche clara, y vea la luna sonriente, Neil le hará un guiño. In this text, which is for the most part in the past, we have a combination of preterite and imperfect. I want to focus specifically in the verbs that have a meaning change. So all the examples that come from here are inspired on this text. So let's focus on the first verb, saber, to know. Look at me. Look with me to the following chart. Saber. In the imperfect, it's to know facts. In the preterite, it's to find out, to learn. Cuando era niño, Neil Armstrong, no, I'm going to use the imperfect. No podía, no sabía si podía llegar a la luna. ¿Sí? Saber en este caso, it's information. Pretérito, an action, the action of finding out, to learn. Neil Armstrong, saber, pretérito of saber, supo. Neil Armstrong supo que quería llegar a la luna cuando le regalaron su primer telescopio. Now, sus padres, muy inteligente, y su madre nunca, que estaba tomando clases. So I have to choose between saber, sabía y supo. Sus padres, to know facts, sabían que era muy inteligente, y su madre nunca supo que estaba tomando clases de aviación. In the first one, the action of knowing that a person is intelligent doesn't really have a beginning and ending. But in the second one, her mother did not know that Neil Armstrong and his father, when they were only 6, they were already taking aviation classes. So she never found out, she never learned that little piece of information that a 6-year-old was trying to fly a plane. Versus in the first one, there is the knowledge of Neil was very intelligent. Entonces, ellos sabían que era muy inteligente y su madre nunca supo, she never found out about the classes to a 6-year-old. Conocer. Conocer is another very important verb to remember when we're talking about the preterite and imperfect. So, conocer in the imperfect, it's to know facts, to know a city, to know a person. Versus conocí is trying to convey when you meet a person for the first time. Neil Armstrong, cuando era niño, no conocía a sus compañeros del Apollo 11. ¿Sí? He didn't know Aldrin, he didn't know Collins, so it's just people or place. Bad. Look at this. Neil Armstrong conoció a Buzz Aldrin en la NASA. He met his buddy and friend Buzz Aldrin in the NASA. He met him for the first time in the year 1955. See, you can put a date here. In this one, it's just information. He didn't know his teammates yet. Let's do another example. En su infancia, so we're going to use conocer. So in this one, they're putting me a time. That's my marker to know that most likely that's going to be preterite. Let's see if it makes sense. Michael Collins, the other guy that was in the Apollo 11, in Neil Armstrong. Yeah. Michael Collins y Neil Armstrong se conocieron en los años 60. So I know that's the preterite, so the answer for the other one is imperfect, but let's see why. En su infancia conocía. En su infancia conocía muy bien la sección de ciencias de su biblioteca. Neil Armstrong was an excellent student and very committed, so since he was a very little kid, he was reading about science in his book, and the science section was very well for him. Conocía muy bien la sección de ciencias. Querer, quería, quise, to want. In the first one, imperfect, we're talking about wanting to, I want to, versus preterite, I try to. Want, it's more abstract, something that is in your head, and try, it's an action. It's actually something that requires you to move from place A from B, or to think to make an action, to make a phone call, anything that you can think that changes the course of an event. So let's see the examples. Neil Armstrong, imperfect, quería llegar a la luna, versus Neil Armstrong quiso construir una turbina en su sótano. In this one, like in the first one, Neil Armstrong quería llegar a la luna like any other kid. He was thinking that he could get to the moon, right? He wanted to. Quería llegar a la luna. In the second one is to try. Neil Armstrong quiso construir una turbina. He tried to build a part of a plane in his the wind tunnel in his basement. He actually tried and got the parts and got his father help. So in that case, it's tried. Su padre, so we have two options, right? Preterite and imperfect. So el ejército is the army. Su padre quería o quiso. Quería because it's a wish, something that the father wanted. Su padre quería que entrara al ejército. His father wanted him to be part of the army or the navy. Pilotear un avión. Neil Armstrong quiso pilotear un avión a los 6 años y lo logró. In that case, when he quiso pilotear un avión y lo logró, it means that with his dad and without mom's permission, he got into a plane and he actually tried to do it. He had to wait 10 more years though to get a license after that, but he did try. No querer. No querer in the imperfect is no quería versus no quise, right? So didn't want to versus refused to. Let's see what happened with Neil Armstrong's life. Imperfect. Neil Armstrong no quería abandonar las ciencias después de regresar a la luna. Y Neil Armstrong no quiso quedarse sin estudiar una maestría y por ello entró a la Universidad de California. So, in the first one, I'm trying to convey that after going to the moon and after retiring from the NASA, he didn't just want to go and relax. He wanted to keep contributing to humanity. So, no quería abandonar las ciencias. He didn't want to abandon his field of study. Versus in the preterite, that is an action, the action of refusing to, Neil no quiso quedarse sin estudiar una maestría. After he went to the Korean War and way before the moon trip, he had already a BA, but he wanted to study more, so he didn't want to just keep his BA, no quiso quedarse con su carrera y fue a estudiar una maestría. So he refused to be a bachelor. Él quería una educación superior. Let's see this. Su madre no querer que piloteara aviones pequeños. La NASA le dijo que era muy joven para entrar. Okay. In the first one, I'm gonna use no quería, and I tell you why. Su madre no quería que piloteara aviones tan joven. I'm just expressing her wishes, her mother wishes. She didn't want to, she didn't agree, right? But there is no action there. It's more abstract in the mother's head. In the second one, the NASA, when he just got there, told him that he was too young, but he didn't take no for an answer, right? Entonces, la NASA le dijo que era muy joven, pero él no quiso obedecer y se presentó a los exámenes. He refused to listen, even if he was too young, and everybody told him that he was not going to pass. He presented, and he passed. Poder. Poder in the imperfect is was able to, and in the preterite is to manage or to succeed. Neil Armstrong Neil Armstrong podía haber sido un hombre muy preferido, pero prefirió la sencillez. I'm referring to the text, right? He was a very accomplished guy, but he was very simple in his lifestyle. Entonces, in this case, he could have become somebody very conceited. Podía haberse convertido en un hombre presumido, but he chose to stay nice and calm and down to earth. Pretérito. When you use poder, it's manage or succeed. Neil pudo llegar a las estrellas. Neil Armstrong pudo llegar a las estrellas. That means that he was actually able to reach his dream. He succeeded. It was more than just a wish. That's something that every little kid dreams, but he managed. He succeeds to end that in the moon. Let's see two more examples. Su madre no quería que piloteara aviones tan pequeños, pero él sabía que podía hacerlo. He knew he was able to. There's no action yet. It's just a knowing of facts, of information. He was able to. Preterite. We said that preterite was manage or succeed. La NASA le dijo que era muy joven para entrar. They told him that he was very young. Pero él pudo convencerlos. He was able. He managed to convince the very famous scientists of the time that he was able to. So in the preterite is to succeed. In the other one, in the imperfect, was able to. And the last very important verb to remember is no poder. No poder in the imperfect means was not able to, and in the preterite is tried and failed. Neil Armstrong no pudo resistirse a seguir estudiando luego de ir a la luna versus no pudo construir un avión en su sótano solo en su turbina, solo una turbina. In the first one is that he was not able to resist to go to more colleges and to learn more things. Going to the moon was not enough. He had to continue studying. In the second one, it has the sense of tried and failed. Neil Armstrong trató de construir un avión, pero no pudo. He tried to build a whole plane, but he was unable to. So he only was able to build part of a plane, a wind tunnel. Entonces, Neil no pudo construir un avión, pero solo construyó una turbina. Only the wind tunnel. Little thing here. ¿Sí? Let's see two more examples. Su madre no podía creer que era la madre de la primera persona que llegó al espacio. Her mom was not able to believe, he couldn't believe, no podía creer que era la madre de un astronauta. Muchas empresas, many businesses, le ofrecieron mucho dinero para que trabajara en la industria, pero las empresas no pudieron convencerlo a renunciar a su puesto de profesor universitario. They tried to convince him, they offered him millions of dollars, but his heart, his passion was in science.